All right, what is up? What is up, takers? It is Tyler or Tyler Belts, whichever you prefer. This is Ty State Today Live. We do this each and every Thursday and Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And joining us tonight. So, first of all, for those that are watching the Super Bowl, go team. I don't know. I'm not watching, so whoever wins wins. But if you are watching the Super Bowl, enjoy, have a great time, be safe, don't drink and drive, call an Uber. That's all I got for you on the Super Bowl. But of course, you guys already know. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/at It's Ties Take Today. Also on Instagram at It's Ties Take Today. And also be sure to subscribe and subscribe to us on YouTube for past episodes, interviews, previous behind the scenes content, all that good stuff. YouTube.com is Ties Take Today, and of course, TiesTakeToday.com. And for those of you that are watching on, like I said, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, be sure to share your take in the comments if you have any questions for any of our guests tonight, or if you just want to show us some love and let us know where you're watching from, or whose team you're rooting for the Super Bowl. Be sure to go ahead and drop those in the comments as well. Coming up on tonight's show, our first music guest is Sevndeep. So we're going to be talking to him and talking about how he got started as a music artist. I know he's got some projects coming up later this month, and we're going to premiere one of his official music videos. And then we're also talking to Eyes of a Foodie, Rashawn Wilder. So we're going to be talking everything food and content creating. And then lastly, we are talking to Arrielle Sade Mock, who is just an all-around badass photographer, creative, activist. So we got a packed show for you all today. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and add our first guest to the stage. Make some noise for Sevndeep. Hey.
Hello.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Like I said, live streaming. So if there's anybody out there that has questions for you, we'll be sure to ask them during the course of our conversation tonight. But I just want to say thank you so much for giving us some of your time this evening. And I really want to dive straight into who you are as an artist and what really inspired you to pursue music. And then how did you develop your sound and who you are as a creative over time?
Let's see. Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate that. As far as just who I am as a creative, I am a black creative that happens to be queer. I'm very like raw and raunchy and honest with my lyrics, and I'm very I don't know. People like to say like I'm extra and I'm like all of these things, whatever the case may be. But I look at it as, when I was a child or, when I was growing up, I didn't have a me growing up. I didn't come from an era where I could look on turn the TV and say, wow, like this person is magical, so or this person has, he reminds me of myself and he's just, he's here representing for my community. So I make it just my business to be that person, if that makes sense. And I've been doing it for about 4 years. People that inspired my sound: Missy Elliott, Little Kim, Busta Rhymes, Britney Spears, Janet Jackson, Kanye West, Juicy J. Like my playlist is crazy. So like the people that I love is crazy because it could take a turn real quick, just depending on the type of mood I'm in. So I try to like feed all of that creativity that I have deep inside of me. Like I don't just try to stick to one sound. Like, my sound is kind of some now I'm like more of the island and the Afro beat kind of like sound. But before I do pop beats, I do all types of records. I'm just always very raw and raunchy, and people will say that about my lyrics.
Absolutely. So when in your life did you know like music's my passion, this is what I'm gonna do? Was there any particular moment or ever since you were younger, have you always had a love for music?
Well, I've always loved music and I always could dance. And then like I used to be in football and play all the sports when I was in like high school. And my dad, I got cracked in football one day. I got cracked real bad. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. And my dad put me, I always wanted, he always said, you need to be on TV. You need to be on TV. You just need, you have a lot of personality. So he put me in theater and dance class. And so I always did that. I started off dancing. I started off, what I'm saying, like, doing the dance thing. And then I moved to LA. I moved to LA like 4 years ago. I always knew I could like rap and write songs. I always knew that, but I never took it serious. 'Cause from Virginia, it's like, who is gonna do this? But I mean, we have Missy Elliott and everybody like that. But I wasn't thinking that big. I was thinking small. And I moved to LA and I went to one of my friends' studio sessions because one of my friends is actually signed. And I went to the studio session and I was like, I could do this shit. Like, this is not hard. I could do this. Like, I could do this. And from then, I got the engineer. I did everything on my own. I started writing. I started listening to beats. And yeah, now I'm here.
Absolutely. So for you, looking back at everything and your journey up until this point, what has been like the biggest lesson that you've learned about the industry and overall as yourself as an artist and a creative?
As a creative, I guess the biggest lesson I learned is that don't listen to people. Like, I'll say this: we live in a time where everyone has an opinion, and everyone could just post those opinions on social media, whatever the case is. I don't take opinions from people that I feel like aren't where I'm trying to go. I feel like there's a lot of people with no magic that try to will try to tell you how to use yours these days. So I don't do that. Like I don't take advice from anyone unless you're somebody who I'm like I really like look up to. Or you're one of my faves because everybody thinks they have the sauce these days. So I just say, creative, listen to your heart, listen to whatever God puts on your heart, whatever the universe puts on your heart. Like invest in that, and then you will see it grow. But don't listen to like because a lot of people project and everything like that. And I just don't listen to anybody. I do what I want to do.
Absolutely. Can you walk us through like a typical the process flow for you when it comes to your creativity? Like, starting with an idea or a concept or a message, and then like creating that to the finished product.
Like I can walk you through. So let's say I usually have my beats first. I'm a dancer, so I love beats. And but I'm also one of those creatives. I can't just sit in the house and just start storytelling. I have to actually go live my life. I'm not one of those people who's like just make up all these stories in here and just no. I have to actually go out and have a wild night, or go out and have a good night, or a bad night, or whatever, and live my life. So like usually, something like that'll happen, and I'll come in and I'll write about it, or I'll write about it while I'm in the club or wherever I'm at. I'll start writing. I'll start coming up with a melody in my head. And then once I go to the I don't really like anybody in the studio with me. I go to the studio, I'll lay it down, I'll send it. I have like a group of friends. We all they're my best friends, but we all live in different places. We all in a group chat. So excuse me, I'll send it to them and say, hey, you guys like this? And they'll tell me yes or no. And then I'll go for it. And when it comes to like videos and stuff, I study the greats. So like Gaga, Beyonce, Michael, Janet, again, Missy. Like I study the greats. So I look at those type of visuals. I'm a really big visual artist. If you look at my videos, I love making videos. They're expensive as hell, but I love making them. And I just go from there. Whatever mood I want, whatever, I feel like making a video is really it's the icing on the cake when you have a song. It can really make or break it. So yeah.
Absolutely. And then, thus far, what has been like the most defining moment, excuse me, in your career thus far, whether it's like a challenge or a major breakthrough that you've overcome? Is there any like key moment during this journey for you thus far?
Maybe a couple. I remember I was a big, big, big fan of like Danny D. Kane, and I was a big fan of Dirty Money. I love Dawn, and I remember we had a show together. Was I was opening for her, and she was going on after me, and I'll never forget like. Once we finished, because you usually don't see each other. Once we finished, she just came up to me and was like, "I love you. Like I just love everything about you." So it was Dawn. It was Missy Elliott too. Missy Elliott. I'm a huge fan of Missy Elliott, and she showed love. And I think the other defining moment was this year. My music got a placement on an actual like broadcast show that's on Stars or whatever. So that was huge for me because for me to be an independent artist and own all the rights to my music and be able to sign it off on a show that's going on Stars and them not only picking one song, not two songs, but three of my songs, original songs, that was big for me.
Absolutely. Congratulations. That is super
Thank you.
dope and super successful. So props to you on that. I want to talk a little bit about like your creativity and like what keeps you inspired. Is it just those everyday experiences, like you said, from like going out and hanging with friends and family? Um,
Life keeps me motivated. Like it's a beautiful thing. Life is a beautiful thing. I've lost a lot of people, you know what I mean? Like I've experienced a lot of like crazy stuff in my life, trauma that I've had to overcome. And I think that I'm in a place where I'm like, look, this is my life and I'm gonna live it. Living life just really inspires me. Getting up every day and just knowing that I got the same 24 hours as Beyonce or somebody. It's like you have the same 24 hours as these people. Not maybe the resources, but you still have the same 24 hours in the mental. So just living, honestly. I love living. I love living.
Absolutely. And I want to talk, I know fashion and like overall aesthetic is really
Mhm.
big for you as a creative, with your own unique and bold choices when it comes to fashion and style. How important is that to you overall and to your brand?
Fashion is just like music. It's a way to speak. It's a way to express yourself. So I feel like that fashion and music go hand in hand, if that makes sense. I could be wild one day and want to put on some heels, or the next day I could look like this and be like, I don't feel like it. You know what I mean? It's all about just trying new things. I like to stay fly. I like to keep it sexy, but for the most part, I'm going to try whatever I feel like trying.
Absolutely. Is Sevndeep. I want to ask if you don't mind. I know we're going to share your music video. So I have some more questions for you, of course, and we're going to play a quick rapid game of rapid fire
Okay.
random questions as well. But why don't we go ahead and introduce this next project of yours, the official music video. We're gonna go ahead and play "Drip" for you guys.
This is drip. Oh God. I hate when people watch my stuff when I'm around them.
All right, give me just a second to go ahead and get that up, and we'll go ahead and share that with you guys.
Stream it.
My baby jet, 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 jet. Oh, I'ma get jet, 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 jet. My baby jet, 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 jet. Oh, I'ma get fire, 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 fire. I'ma make it drip, don't slip. Now we in the whip. You feel a grip? Hey, baby, can I have a sip? Fuck, you dripping all over the tip. Watching how you drop to the ground. Got a nigga fainting, wanna eat it right now. Come a little closer, baby, move the thing around. You better move the shit around. Babe, please, you gon' feel it in your knees. Wind your waist, do it to the beat. Then we gon' move it to the sheets. But you ain't going to sleep. Been waiting on that sunshine. I think I need that bad. Can I do it like that? No one else gonna hit it like that. Drop down, bust back, pick it up, make it clap. I'ma kiss it better, baby. Relax, make them other niggas jealous, baby. That's facts. Shit, your shit tighter than a trap. Babe, please, you gon' feel it in your knees. Wind your waist, do it to the beat. Then we gon' move it to the sheets. But you ain't going to sleep. Please, you gon' feel it in your knees. Wind your waist, do it to the beat. Then we gon' move it to the sheets. But you ain't going to sleep. You ain't going to sleep. Now let's dance. Give me the horns, baby. Yeah. Hey. Oh, one more time. Bring it back now. Bring it back. Now bring it back. Babe, please. You gon' feel it in your knees. Wind your waist. Do it to the beat. Then we gon' move it to the sheets. But you ain't going to sleep. I'ma make it through. Now bring it back now. Drip, that thing wetter than a ship. Got you dripping off my tip. We'll be rich if I post this clip. You an alien superstar, baby. Hit. Hey, you wanna fuck me right now? You know that I'ma put it down. If you drippin', then you know that I'ma drown. And we gon' do it to the sound. Drip, drip, drip. I'ma make it drip, drip, drip. Drip, drip, drip. I'ma make it drip, drip, drip.
Boom, there we go. Technical difficulties on my end. There you guys have it. Oh, y'all didn't hear it because it was already off, but at the end of the video it was like boom. Y'all didn't get that, but y'all are watching Sade Stay Today live, and we are continuing our conversation with music artist Sevndeep. You guys just saw the official music video for Drip. Can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind the song, and what you hope your listeners in the audience takes away from watching that music video in particular?
The inspiration behind the song was I'm trying to think. I wrote the song like a year ago. I just know it was like Hennessy involved, and I remember just being in the studio and I just I just came up with it. I heard the beat. I thought it was so sexy. I like to rap. Like I love to rap, but I also love to like use my deep tone and kind of like talk on the beat and kind of sound like poetry and you know what I mean, stuff like that. Because you really don't hear too much of that when it comes, you know, to some artists or whatever. So that's kind of like my thing. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to just sound like it's not about a girl or a guy it's not about a gender or anything like that. If you listen to it, I don't say he or she. Like it's literally for whoever's listening to it. I want you to feel like I'm talking to you, I'm whispering in your ear, and that's just what it is. And the inspiration behind the video, I just thought about some of the sexiest videos I've ever saw before. So I looked at like Janet, I Get So Lonely, and Kalani, The Way, and I just looked at all these videos and Sierra Ride, and I just think that they all were simple. And I usually do big production videos. I'm talking huge productions. And this video, I just wanted it to kind of be more cinematic. I wanted to kind of like channel my energy and be not as boom cat and just kind of like more just relaxed, you know what I mean? And more just sexy and subtle. And I'm usually always forthcoming with like my feminine energy because I feel like embracing your feminine energy is a big thing because you need both of them, right? Like one isn't over one, masculine or femininity. But this video, which is my first video, I feel like I wanted to lead a little bit more into my masculine energy, which is more natural for me. To be honest with you, it's like a more natural thing for me. But I love being the girls and I love being boom cat. You know what I'm saying? But this video, it was like it still had the boom cat in there, but it wasn't so much. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I know you've been working on a lot of different projects that aren't released. Can we talk a little bit about some of your current projects? Do we have any new releases forthcoming later this month, perhaps?
I have so much music. Like I have enough for maybe like two EPs, but I don't want to do that anymore because I feel like something always gets like left that I should have done. So I know that I got a new single coming out. I think I'm gonna release it at the end of this month. I think so. I have to tap in with my photo shoot. Like I'm a person that just like everything to kind of do the same. I like everything to mesh. You know, the photo shoot, the song, everything. I don't really want to cut any corners. That's my problem. I feel like it's all about quality. At the end of the day, you can say you ain't like my song or my music, but you can't say it wasn't good quality. So I have some stuff coming out. I done tapped back into my acting. You will be seeing, me this year on a screen, or two. I will say more music, just more fun, more. I have a lot of performances that I cannot release them yet, but I've signed the paperwork and gotten them, you know what I'm saying, the back end, with the front end and the back end for a couple of different performances. So I'm actually gonna hit the stage and share. I share the lineup with a lot of cool artists this year. So those flyers will be probably dropping next week. So if y'all can stay tuned on my Instagram, you'll see like it's going to be a big team festival season for Seven and all my man eaters. So yeah, that's just what I got coming up a lot. This is my year. This is the year 2025. Something about it is just feels like I know it's my year and it's the year of that the creatives need each other, especially the queer ones, because they're trying to take everything away from us. So I feel like that's the only way we can make it through this 4 years is our art.
Absolutely. And I do have to shout out the merch that you're repping too. So let me know. I want a hoodie. I
Oh,
need a
this is
hoodie.
my brothers made this for me. It's so funny. I had a viewing party and they left and they came back and they had this made, but their name is it's hard headed ENT on Instagram. And yeah, I was like, we might need to start making these for real. Like they
This
made me one, and they made them one. I think we might need to start making these for real because everybody's asking me for one. But yeah, when they have a link, I'll put it up.
for sure. And then so, for people that are out there that may be just starting their journey in their career into the music industry, or maybe hesitant or reluctant to even start as a music artist or a songwriter or even a producer, what advice would you give to people out there that may be interested in starting a career in the industry?
I would say it's a lot of things. Watch the people that surround you. Watch the people that are around you and their intentions. I would say go where you're celebrated. A lot of us try to like me. I don't try to fit into places where I'm not celebrated, or I know that I'm not an artist that everybody's gonna like. I go where I'm celebrating. It's been working out for me. I would also say, um, don't second guess yourself too much. Nothing will ever be really perfect ever as an artist, And also, I guess the last thing is that if you're stuck in between, or should I or shouldn't I? you have to start, and the universe will open up all the doors, but it's waiting for you to start first. So you have to start, and then the universe will start opening up the doors, but you just sitting there, a door's not going to magically open. You have to actually go out there, put in the work, start. Even if you don't know, there's no book to this. There's no book to how to be a successful creative. There's a book to how to be a doctor, how to be a lawyer, how to be everything else, but there is no book to say, okay, how to be a successful entrepreneur, creative. It's no book like that. So you kind of just got to trust yourself, your instinct, your intuition. And again, your gut feeling is not going to be a feeling that's going to lie to you. Please always listen to your gut feeling about people, about projects, about everything like that.
Absolutely. And Sevndeep, lastly, the industry, is constantly changing and evolving. Where do you see yourself evolving as an artist in the next few years? And then overall, just when it comes to your legacy and that imprint in the industry, what do you want that to look like for you? And is there any collaborations or any projects that you'd like to manifest and speak into existence right now for the remainder of this year and so on?
Well, I'm taking this shit to the top. I don't know if I can curse, but I'm taking it to the top. I will say that I know who I am, and I know I know who I am. That's all I can say. And I'm taking it to the top. I want to work with I don't listen to that much new music. I listen to a lot of like the 90s and 99s and the 2000s, but I would love to work with like Chloe and FKA Twigs. And I would love to work with Megan, and I would love to work with St. John, Kanye West, Tiana Taylor. People like that, they're all amazing to me. Tyler the Creator, Kalani, like I love these people. I just listened to this girl the other day. Oh, what is her name? K something. She sings this song called Worst Behavior. I'm addicted to the song. But yeah, and I guess that's it. Like over the what else you asked me?
Just what you want your overall legacy
Oh,
to
my
look like.
overall legacy. I mean, I hate to say it like this, but if I died tomorrow, like my legacy would be left. I was one of the pioneers of this. I've been doing this before it was cool, before it was a trend to be queer and be. I did it before, and I just didn't want to sign my life away or whatever the case may be. But I just want my legacy. I want people to just know that I was a good artist that represented for my community, and I gave quality art. And I didn't take no shit. You couldn't step over me. And I was one of the people that really was in there that was, I would step on me. But I was really out there like fighting the fight for us. I loved everybody. I was kind, but I mean, I wasn't too kind. I was an asshole sometimes. That's fine. We all got to be an asshole sometimes. But yeah, like that's what I want my legacy to be. Just quality queer art, put forth the fort, and did not and was fearless because I am. And I hope that people see that.
Absolutely. And now I want to play a quick rapid fire game of a couple random rapid fire questions that we don't send to our guests ahead of time. First up, if you had to describe your music in only 3 words, what would they be?
Raunchy, raw, and nasty.
All right.
Oh,
And
no,
then
sensual. Okay, go ahead.
okay. And then what is one song? I know you mentioned the song that you've been listening to lately, or an artist rather, but what's one song not yours that instantly hypes you up automatically?
In the Man First.
And what's the wildest or most unexpected place you've ever performed or recorded music?
Oh my gosh. I don't know what's the wildest or most unexpected place that I've ever recorded music. You said performed? I can say performed.
Yeah, you could do performed.
Okay, the most wildest unexpected, I performed in Connecticut, and that's still to this day is probably one of my best crowds. I did not expect Connecticut to give it up like that. They were going crazy. So Connecticut was amazing.
Okay, Connecticut.
Okay.
If you could raid any artist's closet for a day, who would it be?
And Nelly Chopper. He's really good.
I will say.
Or MGK. Excuse me, MGK.
Those are definitely 2 good ones.
Yeah, really, really. Those are 2 good, well-dressed male like artists. I love the way they dress.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that. What's one food you absolutely can't live without?
Spaghetti.
Do you put sugar on yours? I know people are about to grill me because I had to ask because
I don't put sugar on my spaghetti. No.
I'm not a sugar on spaghetti type of guy either, but I already know I'm about to get so much backlash. But I had to ask. If you could time travel to any era for musical inspiration, where would you go?
The 80s, it looked so fun. They did not care. It was no cameras. They used to party back in the 80s, baby. I would have been right there partying with them, baby. But yeah, the 80s.
Definitely. And Seven Deep, I just want to say thank you so much for giving us some of your time. Go ahead and let everybody know. I know we have your Instagram up on the screen now, but go ahead and let everybody know where to follow you. Any last words or drops of wisdom you want to leave us with?
All right, so you can follow me at official Sevndeep. I'm on that. I'm getting my TikTok back because I deleted it, and then they said now I can't download it back, but I found out a way to do it. So TikTok, I'm Sevndeep. Twitter is such an evil app, but I'm still the Sevndeep on Twitter. And, YouTube Sevndeep. My music, everything is Sevndeep. Just follow me. Like it gets crazy around here. Last words. I've already said this, but this next 4 years, we really have to stick together as creatives and like not really spread. I just always turn on the internet. Sometimes there's so much negativity that sometimes we have to create our positive. So we just have to keep each other in our prayers, stick together. Our creativity is gonna keep us together, and that's just that for the next 4, Lord Jesus. But yeah. It's a long
Absolutely. I am saying everything that you just said times 4 at this point. Times 4 for each of the years that's
yes.
ahead of us. But I just want to say thank you so much, and we'll be sure to include all of your social media links in the caption and description of this video, and hopefully we can have you back on again soon to talk more about your upcoming projects.
Thank you. You have a good one. Okay. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Have a great evening.
You too.
All right, so what is up? You guys are watching Ty's Take Today Live. That was music artist Sevndeep. Be sure to check him out and follow him on all social media platforms. We'll be sure to go ahead and share his Instagram and social media links with all of you. Coming up next, we're keeping the Super Bowl Sunday vibe going, I guess, without the sports. So if you're not a sports fan, this is the place to be on a Sunday night. Right now, we are going to go ahead and add our next guest to the virtual stage, Rashawn Wilder. He is also known as Eyes of a Foodie. He's y'all, when we show you some of the pictures, my mouth is watering. So I'm going to just go ahead and add him to the stage right now. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me, Ty. How are you?
Doing well. Like I said, I have been staring at these photos since yesterday, and I'm just like, I cannot wait to talk to you. So, I really want to just dive right in and introduce who you are to our audience, how you got started, and just a little bit about yourself and, that moment when you realized that, you had that passion and calling for food and baking.
Yeah. Well, since I was a young kid, and I mean young, like 8 or 9, I just had a desire for cooking. I grew up watching my mom and my grandmother cook, and food always interested me. I was always into the books, into the academia. I was always like valedictorian student of the year. But even though I had a passion for education, I had a passion for cooking. And for me, it was just always an outlet to be creative. At that time I couldn't sing, I could dance. I loved to dance. I was known for dancing, but food and cooking was my outlet. So for me, it was just great. And at that time, we didn't have all these social platforms. That was not internet was barely a thing. I remember dial up, okay? So um when Instagram finally came around, I started off with just photos of myself, modeling pictures and stuff like that. But at some point, I said, I really want to show the world my recipes and my passion for food. And so I remember I was sitting in Boston with a friend, and we were at a restaurant. And I said, I really want to start posting photos because videos and reels were not a thing for Instagram. And he said you should do it. And this friend of mine, he had, I think 100,000 at that time. This is almost 10 years ago, actually. And I said, well, what if it doesn't work? And what he told me next changed the trajectory of everything. He said, what if it does work? And when he said that, I took it, I ran with it, and it just changed the game. I was one of the first foodies. At that time, we were food bloggers, not influencers. And I took it and ran with it, and it's been growing ever since. And it opened a lot of doors for me and other opportunities that I'm still reaping to this day.
Absolutely. And we're going to go ahead and dive in. Of course, I have tons of more questions for you, but I do, we have some photos that we're going to share for our audience. And then we have a clip from Fox 2 News, The 9, that we're going to go ahead and share with our audience, and then we'll bring you back and chop it up a little bit more.
Alrighty.
All right, give me just a second to cue that video up.
His cheesecakes have landed him all the way to the top 80 on Fox's Master Chef competition. Foodie, blogger, chef, Ray Sean Wilder here. And you brought some delicious things.
Oh,
Welcome.
I did. Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations. So you're kind of, so you're a chef who also has a great online presence, and you,
Yes.
and that's how people come to know your stuff.
Exactly.
So what's your, what do we have in front of us here?
So we have some of my fall flavored themed cheesecakes, which will premiere tomorrow. So I have my, let's start with the cookie butter, which actually landed me on MasterChef.
Oh, which one's that right
This
now?
is the cookie butter.
Oh.
This is the red velvet.
Yeah.
This is cannoli. Oh my gosh,
wow.
yes. My caramel apple pie cheesecake.
Wow.
Sugar cookie, which is made with one of the local cookie companies, Blank Canvas Cookies. The pumpkin spice cheesecake, the carrot cake cheesecake, and the brownie explosion
So
cheesecake.
did you do this? Did you have a business? Was this fun, and then you got on the show, or was a finalist for the show? And then...
Well, it was just all for fun. I never had any intentions on making cheesecakes, but when I auditioned for the show, I said, let me do something that's going to wow them. And so I created the cookie butter cheesecake. And once I got back from LA from the show, I just started experimenting with new flavors, and they literally became a life of their own.
Wow.
And now, so is this how are you? Is this your business now?
This is my business. I'm a flight attendant by day, but I don't even fly anymore because my cheesecakes are literally flying off the shelf.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Literally.
And Rashawn, I want to talk a little bit more about just some of the amazing products we just saw, and then, like I said, also that video clip is coming to us from Rashawn shared that with us, but that is courtesy of Fox 2, the 9. Make sure we get that copyright disclaimer out there. So shout outs to Fox 2 and the 9. But also, you had mentioned in that clip, being a flight attendant by day. I already know the answer to this question, but I have to ask: Are the cheesecakes still flying off the shelves?
Oh, absolutely. At that time too, that was, I think, 6 years ago actually now. But I think I had, I don't know, at that time, maybe 15, 20 flavors. Now I'm over 50 flavors that I've created in total. And I love it because, once again, I look at food as my art, and these cheesecakes are my art. And just not with taste, but the way that I decorate them and the story behind every single flavor.
Absolutely. And I know we just saw a video clip, but I'm going to share these pictures with you guys too, because these pictures are everything. And these are just some of the, like you said, the different flavors and creations that you have created. Also, if there's people out there, I know with Valentine's Day, quickly approaching, are you currently taking orders?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, just had to make sure. So, I mean, if you got somebody that loves sweets, I would tell you firsthand, I had the pleasure of trying. I forgot what I tried, but it was so good, and it was that long ago. So, like I said, it's just being able to, be so passionate about your craft and your talent and create it to a business. What advice would you give to someone out there who may be interested in being a content creator, specifically for food, or maybe even beginning their culinary journey? Is there any advice or tips you would give to anybody out there?
I always encourage people to do what you're called to do. You have to figure out what it is you're called to do, because anyone can do anything. But when you're called to do it, you're going to have a grace for that. You're going to have an ability to do that thing, but also have an ability to perfect it too. Because I started with one cheesecake, and I never had any intentions of making cheesecakes at all. And so to see that one go to over 50 flavors, just do it. Honestly, just like my friend told me when we were sitting in that restaurant, and I'm thinking, well, what if it doesn't work? What if people don't receive it well? And he said, well, what if it does work? And that mentality had to become, well, that attitude had to become the mentality. And that mentality, I had to continue to speak that into existence and encourage myself, because there are times when things that you do that you're gifted at, people may not want to receive that. But if you stick with it, if you encourage yourself through it, you're going to keep doing it and it's going to get better. And so, that's all I can say is just do it and make sure your heart is in the right place. Don't do it for the fame. Don't even do it for money. Do it because you're passionate about it. And that's the best advice I can give to anyone who wants to do whatever. It doesn't have to be food, doesn't have to be influencing. If there's a job that you have in mind or a business that you want to start, do it. But make sure your heart is in the right place.
Absolutely. And then for you, being a business owner and being a content creator, and just overall being a creative and being the creative that you are, we talk a lot about mental health. I think that's like, one of the main topics that we talk about with all of our guests here on our platform, regardless of if they're a music artist, a content
Yeah.
creator. How do you, maintain that balance and, when it comes to like self-care and, because I know content creating is one heck of a one heck of an industry.
Uh, yeah, I think just like I said too, just earlier, encouraging myself, but also my faith really gets me through, keeps me grounded. I think because of my faith, I've been able to make it here. I lost a lot. I lost the both of my brothers a year apart. And people are like, Ray, I don't know how you got through that. And I'm like, by the grace of God. And I didn't go crazy over that. And I didn't go crazy when things that I thought should have worked didn't work. And I didn't go crazy at opportunities that I felt I should have had, I didn't get. Even coming back here, because I was in LA for 4 years. And then when I moved back here, I had opportunities, or I thought I should have had opportunities, and all these new food bloggers at that time came in. And I'm like, well, who are you? And they had all these opportunities. And I'm like, well, darn, I've been in the game for years and I haven't even had that opportunity yet. But it didn't stop me. And some of the same places that I wasn't invited to, some of the same tables I wasn't invited to, the next year I was invited to those same tables and regarded as one of the best doing this. I'm still being featured on many platforms and being named one of the best foodies and food bloggers and chefs and stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know how. But once again, that's that grace that I mentioned earlier. When you do what you're called to do, doors will open for you. And so, yeah, that's how I stay grounded.
Absolutely. Mental health is so important to me. So I understand. And I just want to say, my condolences to you and your family, of course. And then, thank you for being open and vulnerable with us on our platform and sharing that part of you. I know
Thank you.
that takes a lot of strength and vulnerability. So I do really sincerely appreciate that. And like you said, you're doing it like this. You guys have to check out his Instagram, and my camera is not going to work with me, but nonetheless, tons of content. And your content creating at different events in the city, different
Yes.
different restaurants, and that's an accomplishment in itself. And like you said, you've been featured on Delish, Pop Sugar, BuzzFeed Tasty, the list goes on and on. So I mean, I just want to give you your flowers and your acknowledgement
Uh,
as well.
I
Speaking
appreciate
of
that.
speaking of current projects, of course I have to ask, are there any new recipes or creations that you're currently whipping up? Hold on,
Uh,
because I got more for you. Do we
okay.
have a cookbook coming? Any pop-ups? Maybe a physical bakery space? I'm just manifesting it all for you. If any of those are some things that you want.
Yes, those are things that I want, and those are actually things that are happening. That's actually why I moved back to Detroit, hometown, born and raised. But it's always great to come back home. And I moved back because I had an opportunity to co-open a storefront, which is happening. The soft opening has happened. So really soon, the grand opening will happen. It's a joint venture, so there's food there as well. My business partner, he's doing the food. I'm taking care of the desserts and the cheesecakes in particular. Pop-ups are coming. A new show is coming. I mean, there's a lot of things happening, a lot of great collaborations that I can't say yet until, the contract is signed, but there's so much in store and I'm so excited because it's finally happening. And I always tell people, when you get onto the scene or you see people just like come out of nowhere, they didn't come out of nowhere. They've been working for 10 years before you actually see them. And it's the same with me. Like I've been in the game now, the food game, for 10 years almost. And, yes, I'm known, I have a great following, but the world is about to finally see who Rayshawn Wilder is, who Eyes of a Foodie is, who Nostalgia Bakeries, you know, is. So I'm excited. I cannot wait because I love to see people have joy and a happiness and a smile on their face when they taste my products or when they see my videos. It may not even be my products, but the videos that you see, like everything I am so intentional about. Every song choice that I choose for my videos, every uh the lighting that I use for my videos, like every single detail is accounted for, and yeah, the world is about to see. So get ready, buckle up, buttercup is my saying.
Absolutely, because there is, like you said, so much that is forthcoming. Also, real quick, we're gonna play a quick rapid fire question game with you. But
All right.
if you're in the comments, people are watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Shout out to my mom. She's watching, checking in as always. She said I need some cheesecake. So
Yes,
shout
you
outs to
do.
my mom.
Yes, you
Looks
do.
like I need to get off of this live tonight and place my Valentine's Day order for my mom. So Rayshawn, I'll be in touch with you. I
All
said it
right.
on here, so she's gonna make sure that she gets some cheesecake.
You know what?
Um,
Shout out to your mom and shout out to my mom. They're always supportive. Like moms are so supportive. So love it.
Super supportive. I love that, and it's definitely much love. All right, so these rapid fire questions. If you could bake for any celebrity or a public figure, who would it be, and what would you make?
Ooh, well, if I'm baking, it'll probably be my cheesecakes. I mean, that's what really put me on the map. But I would love to bake for Beyonce.
Yes.
And funny thing, so if y'all don't know, I am a private chef. I was a private chef out in LA and I cooked for celebrities and basketball players. And the biggest name, like I was in their kitchen cooking, is Jimmy Kimmel.
Wow, that is so
Yeah, that was wild.
wow, that is crazy. That is super dope. Um, let's see. If you could only bake with one ingredient for the rest of your life, what would it be?
What? Sugar.
Ooh, segueing into my next question. Would you rather give up sugar or butter forever?
Oh, sugar. I'll have to give up sugar though, because adds all the pounds, and I'm getting older, baby, mid 30s.
I
Yeah.
know. I looked at some of those pictures and the pictures of the desserts, and I was like, "Ooh, that's definitely not what I need." Because I've been saying I was going to get into the gym for the past 2.5 years, so that's something I have time. I have time.
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
If you had a theme song, what would it be?
Ooh, I have a lot of theme songs. Well, Luther Vandross is my favorite artist. So it'll definitely be a Luther song because I'm all about love and, friends, relationships, whatever it is. I'm just all about love. So, and I tell people if your relationship does not feel like a Luther Vandross song or Anita Baker song, it ain't it. Get out.
All right. If you could bake, or I'm sorry, or well, you kind of you answered that. So if your personality was a dessert, what would it be?
Ooh, I don't know. My favorite dessert is creme brulee. So it's like it's brown, it's caramelized like me, but it's sweet and it's also mushy. Like it's smooth, and that literally describes me. So creme brulee.
Absolutely. Rashawn Wilder, thank you so much for joining us today. Eyes of a Foodie.
Absolutely.
I'm telling
Yes.
you all, be sure to let everybody know once again where they can follow you on Instagram. I know we've been sharing your Instagram on the screen, but if there's anybody out there looking for last minute Valentine's Day orders, birthday, graduation celebrations, or just want something damn deliciously good. I was trying to come up with something on the spot, but
It's
let
okay.
everybody
It's
know
good. It works.
let everybody know where they can find you and if they're interested and purchasing products.
Yeah, for sure. So on Instagram and TikTok, it's Eyes of a Foodie. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Nostalgia Bakeries. That's the actual bakery. So yeah, you can message me or my number's on there. You can text me, whatever. Get a hold of me. Get your desserts because I'm also branching off into other desserts too. So yeah, that's where you can reach me.
Absolutely. And before you get out of here, Rayshawn, my mom wants to know, do you have any banana pudding flavored cheesecake or anything along the lines of banana pudding?
I do. I don't have any this week because that's, it's yeah. But oh, actually, I do. I do. I do. I do. I
Oh,
do.
there you go, mom.
Yes.
I got
Yes.
I got you. I'm getting ready to place my order shortly. I just want to say thank you again so much. And as you continue to have pop-ups and different events, be sure to keep us up to date, and we'll be sure to share that information with our audience as well if they're interested in visiting and checking out some of your work as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you everyone for watching. Mama Ty, thank you. You will get your cheesecake soon. But yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for the platform to share not just my story today, but all the other artists and creatives and all that great stuff. And we appreciate it. If no one's told you, we appreciate you, Ty.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Rayshawn Wilder, Eyes of a Foodie, entrepreneur, chef, influencer. The list goes on and on. Thank you so much again for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
All right. So for those of you that are still rocking with us, it's Super Bowl Sunday. For me, that means it's another episode of Ty's Take Today Live. That was Rayshawn Wilder. Be sure to check him out and follow him. We are going to be sharing his social media on in the description, and we'll be resharing some of his posts and content as well. We're going to keep the party going. And our next guest overall is just an overall creative, an artist, an activist, a photographer. Make some noise. Hello. Thank you for joining us today, Arrielle Sade Mock.
Hey, how you doing, Tyler? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I want to just say thank you so much for rocking with us during the first set. I know you were in the virtual studio, so I appreciate you giving us some of your time this evening. I really just want to go dive straight into who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And, I know we mentioned that you're a photographer, an activist, so many different titles. So I really just want to learn more about that moment when, you fell in love with photography. And then, was there any particular moment that sparked your passion and you were like, this is what I want to do?
To be honest, I didn't realize that I wanted to be a photographer until I was like maybe 23, 24. My parents had always been into it. My dad was always like, okay, let me get a picture with the women. Okay, let me get a picture with the dads. Okay, let me get a picture with the daughters. I thought it was so fucking annoying. Or sorry, can I cuss on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
I cuss a lot, my bad. But I thought it was really annoying. I never thought that I would be into it. But my grandpa, he was also into video. He was always walking around with the camcorder, talking shit, just like recording and really like archiving our family dynamics and everything. And as I got older, things changed. You know what I mean? I'm a 90s baby. And I never thought I would be one of those people, but like, you really never know what you have until it's gone. So I started to really appreciate holding on to those memories. And I remember, I think the first time that I bought a camera, I actually blew my refund check at college. My first semester, I blew it on a camera. My best friend at the time wanted to be a model, so I would just take pictures of her. And I thought it was cool as hell that like you pay for a camera one time and I would keep taking pictures and getting people to pay me for it, but I didn't really take it seriously. And then, oh yeah, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just didn't take it seriously though. It was just a hobby. I felt like I had the eye, you know what I'm saying? I got compliments. I liked the energy that I got from taking the pictures. And then I wound up going to New York. I thought I wanted to be an actress for a minute. Realized there wasn't really a lot of roles for people who look like me or women who look like me and identify as me. So that was a turnoff. Came back here, focused on storytelling in Detroit. Now I'm Detroit based and storytelling is really just my life. And I went to Specs Howard School of Media Arts. And that's when I decided to really take it seriously. And I started studying photography and filmmaking and just storytelling as a whole and the creative process behind that. And why it's so important to share these stories and to really just preserve these moments in time. So yeah, it just kind of happened naturally. Like I said, never thought I would be here, but here I am. I love what I do.
Absolutely. And I think like for me, I was gonna say, I'm one of those people that are always like phone, photo, videos, and people have
Yeah.
always asked me, they're like, why are you always capturing the moment, just living the moment? And now I think like now I can separate the two, but I think it's so important because like you said, and like our other guest had mentioned during this episode, life is so short, so that like I wish I could go back and have more pictures with certain people that I've lost or that are no longer with me. So I think it's so important to capture that moment. And if it's annoying to you, because I always am that person, come on up, we all gotta take pictures. They're like, Tyler, you're gonna see us tomorrow. I'm like, but you never know. So I am all about taking photos and videos. How has the city of Detroit especially influenced your artistic vision and when it comes to overall storytelling?
I feel like I wouldn't be into storytelling at all if I didn't leave New York and come back to Detroit, to be honest with you. Even when I left New York, I don't think that I fully understood the impact of sharing your story and how inspirational that can be to other people. And you never know how too. I'm just living my life. I'm just as flawed and trying to figure it out as everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I noticed I would share certain things. Even when I left New York, I saw that as a failure, or when I was in the Army and I left the Army, I saw that as a failure because I didn't finish, you know what I mean? And I felt like I didn't commit, but then I would tell people and they're like in awe that I even went, in awe that I was even on these TV shows. And even if I didn't have any lines or anything. So I just really got to feel the impact of that. But also I started doing spoken word and really getting in the underground art scene of Detroit and starting to understand exactly how many creatives are here and just how many, every single creative in Detroit. I don't know any creative who just does one thing. Everybody's so multifaceted and multidimensional. And I got friends for years. I've known them for over years. And maybe 17 years. And I would still learn new things about them. Like, oh, you just be doing that? I just found out my best friend want to be a beekeeper, like just random shit. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, yeah, she's a yoga instructor and does a lot of different things. But beekeeping was just random as fuck for me. It just found out yesterday. So it's just stuff like that. I feel like it just encourages me to be as fluid and expansive as possible in my creativity. And it's also helped with my vulnerability because I feel such a sense of community here. I feel like when I was in New York, I thought that was going to be like my big thing when I popped, you know what I mean? But like, I felt more alone than I've ever felt in my life in New York. And I felt very small and insignificant. And then I come to Detroit and I really do feel larger than life, just being among people who appreciate me for what I've done. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I just recently, a year ago, actually left Michigan. Was one of those people that are like, I'm ready for a change of scenery. It's not, the industry is not hitting where I need it to hit. I'm gonna go venture elsewhere. And, I found myself in where I currently am. I'm not in Michigan, but there is positives. I do want to say that. So for those that are watching, there is positives to the decision that Tyler made. But like nobody understands that true grit and personality of just Detroit and Michigan. And like you said, I don't think I can name any one creative from Detroit or that is currently in Detroit or the surrounding area that is just a music artist or just a podcast host. And I think that versatility is part of what shapes, us creatives. And just now I'm like, I need to take a trip back home again. But I want to also talk a little bit about the Dope Women in Media exhibition. I know that was an event that was supposed to be happening or coming up or a project. So can we talk a little bit about that and the overall inspiration behind that project?
Yeah, sure. So the Dope Women in Media exhibition, it's full of I believe we're all, I'm not even gonna say we all queer. I think we all queer, but anyway, women who have an impact in the culture and media scene in Detroit or the Metro Detroit area is curated by Laura Gibson. And it was supposed to be happening at the end of January. We were supposed to have our opening reception at the Detroit Artist Market, but unfortunately it was a flood the day that we were supposed to have it. So the Detroit Artist Market is currently seeking funding and help with finding different spaces. And just luckily none of the art was destroyed. So I still have my art here in my office just waiting for the exhibition to happen. I think that the Detroit artist market has met about like 70% of their goals so far, and it's only been a couple of weeks. So we've had a lot of people showing up for that and wanting to see that exhibition happen. So I think you can go on their, you can go on their website if you all want to help, whether that's just volunteering, helping them clear up the space physically, or giving them insight into different exhibition venues that they could utilize in the meantime, or monetarily supporting.
Absolutely. I know they I'm looking at it right now. I know they have a mightycause.com online fundraiser, a nonprofit fundraiser. So it looks like we're pretty close to the original or the initial goal. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we share that link on all of our social media platforms. We'll put it in the description of this video as well, so that if those people that are out there that are interested or are able to, be sure to donate, or at least, even like you said, check out the website, follow them on social media, and give them some support. For you, what has been the most rewarding part of your journey thus far? I know that's like a real detailed question.
I mean, honestly, it's a no-brainer. I ain't gonna lie. Quitting my 9 to 5. Okay, my last 9 to 5, I was a bartender. No bullshit. Like, everybody always jokes about me having 1,010 different jobs, because since I started working, I have had 2-3 jobs at a time and still made time for art and to, get my hands dirty with the whole creative thing before I even took my art seriously. So quitting my 9 to 5 and having the freedom that I have now, I would never go back to a 9 to 5. And that's no disrespect to anybody who does. But my ideal clients actually for my storytelling agency are people who want to leave their 9 to 5 and just pursue a full-time creative life. So yeah, that's been the most rewarding. I feel like I could take a mental day if I want to. And of course, I still have work that needs to be done, but I'm able to be super transparent and flexible and really mold my life the way that I want to. So it's been super rewarding. I think that that's number one.
All right. So then my next question, because we talk about a lot, I say it all the time with all of our guests, we talk about mental health, and, that's one of the most important causes to me, even as a creative myself. And I totally can relate working at 9 to 5, working a full-time job and then picking up overtime and then going to school full-time for my degree, and, podcasting full-time. What advice to people out there, because burnout is a real thing, whether you're a creative or, like you said, you're experiencing it within the corporate world. What advice would you give to people out there? So 2 parts. What advice would you give to people out there when it comes to like finding that balance? And then what advice would you give to young women or just creatives in general looking to make their mark in media and photography?
Let's see. As a recovering workaholic, I feel like I have a lot to say on that, so I'm trying to like synthesize it. But I feel like you gotta know that everything that you're doing is a ritual behind what is going on. You know what I'm saying? Everything is leading you up to where you ultimately want to be. So like, I feel like when I first quit my job, or when I first was even thinking about it, I was so prone to, just the violence of capitalism, thinking that I was lazy, or thinking that a lot of the things that I was doing was not contributing to my overall purpose or where I want to be ultimately. Like, ultimately, I want to be a filmmaker, director, producer. And I'm sure you can see the movie posters. I want to be working with these people. You know what I'm saying? So like, watch for me laying up, whether I'm just, in my pajamas, eating, watching movies. That is a part of my journey. That is really me studying. That is a part of me deepening my creativity and my knowledge and my language and everything. It's impactful. It's useful. But before, I saw it as me being lazy. Why the fuck I'm sitting up here watching movies when I need to be working? I need to be grinding. I need to be making money and chasing clients and all of that. And, me being a multifaceted artist, even me making time for my friends and my family. Like, I always get clients or leads or some type of inspiration. Just like what Seven was saying, like, you got to go out and you got to live your life to get that inspiration in order to make art that's meaningful. And so I feel like knowing that, or I guess like understanding the different ways in which you're contributing to your growth and strengthening your craft is important. You know what I'm saying? Like, even me just talking to other artists, that is important. That helps me grow as an artist myself. And I find inspiration in having conversations with other artists. So I just feel like you don't have to be moving all the time. Like, rest is a crucial part of the productivity. And again, capitalism just teaches us that that is not true. So it's easy to feel like you're not doing enough when in reality, you're probably doing way more than you think.
Absolutely, dropping gems for sure. Yes, like everything you just said. That's what I love. I love when I have guests on here that aren't afraid to be authentically themselves. And I think, like a lot of people are like, can I cuss? What can I say? Do I have to have like a scripted conversation with you? And my platform is authentic, and like I just ask that we share stories and creative and just these different talents that we all have within ourselves, and hopefully like at the end of the day, we can connect each other and we can build and create like together. Like there's room for all of us. And I feel like a lot of times people are so quick to be like, I do this, so, you can't do this. But like we all have our different approach to things. So I definitely can relate to everything that you're saying. I want to talk a little bit about, I know you are a founder of a gallery, correct?
Yes. Well, it's a storytelling agency, but it's called Rogues Gallery though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what type of, can you tell us a little bit more about that and what type of services and work that you guys do?
Yeah, sure. So Rogues Gallery, I actually founded it right after I graduated Specs Howard. I actually got awarded the most creative award, and I was just feeling myself. So I purchased my LLC and I just kind of hit the ground running. And it just so happened to be right before COVID. So I started doing just all the things that I naturally do. I started doing graphic design. I started doing photography. I did videography. I started editing. And I'm the type of person who, in the digital age, I got a love-hate relationship with social media, as weird as that sounds, because I do a lot of marketing, but I love the brand development part. So when people, when COVID first hit, people was getting that check, you know what I'm saying? They was getting unemployment, they were getting the extra money, and everybody was hitting me up, even people who had ideas from like 5 years ago who never jumped on it. They like, hey, I need you to do a logo. Hey, I need you to do invitations to this. Hey, I need you to, everybody was trying to get on the internet. So it just kind of steamrolled in, and I was able to, I just dived in doing what I do. I started freelancing and funded Rogues Gallery as I went, because by nature, I'm not a businesswoman. You know what I'm saying? I'm an artist, and I had to learn how to be a businesswoman through dealing with clients and going through the trials and errors and things like that. But so I think that the main service that I provide for people, just even in passing, is brand development and helping people realize where they're special. Even like you talked about authenticity just a second ago, and I'm just like, I think that is a superpower that I have, is helping people recognize what helps them stand out and what makes them memorable and unique, especially in a world where, I just feel like I talk a lot about in a lot of different mediums about like maintaining authenticity in a world that really like prioritizes conformity and values you putting on a shallow facade for social media and things like that. So I'm really interested in like the human behind the brand. And so in every single client, whether that's photography, whether that is video, no matter what type of artist it is, or individual or business or organization, I always try to see like, okay, why do you do what you do? And I try to stay aligned with that and make sure that I'm putting that out while I'm doing the services that I provide.
Absolutely. And for more about the services that you do offer that we talked briefly about, where can people find you and connect with you and learn more about those different branding services?
At www.roguesgallery or rogues-gallery, and that's ROGUES-gallery.net. So on there, I have all the services that I provide. I have a portfolio. I have a list of all my clients. I think I've served like over 55 clients, primarily in the Metro Detroit area, including like the Charles H. Wright Museum, Dope Women in Media. They were a client before I was a featured artist. That's how I became a featured artist. Black Bottom Gun Club, the National African American Gun Club or Gun Association, and so many more. Like I don't even want to get into all of that, but yeah, find everything right there.
I was gonna say a list of them. We'll be sure to include all of those links as well in the description and captions of our video.
Okay.
And then before we get out of here, I do want to play a quick game of rapid fire. This is always the fun part because you never know what type of questions I'm gonna ask.
Okay.
So if you're down to play our first question, if your photography had a theme song, what would it be?
Oh, The Boy Who Could Fly by Pierce the Veil, my favorite band in the world.
Okay, I'm not familiar. I'm writing it down so I can listen to it.
Got you. It's like a real, like, I love their sound. It's super electrifying. They're super just I don't know how to explain it, like intensely emotional music. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my vulnerability in photography and my art, it really aligns with what they do.
Absolutely. I'm going to definitely check it out once I get out of
Thanks.
here. What's the wildest or most unexpected place you've ever taken a photo? Or
Ooh,
just a dope place in general?
honestly, I think it's called the Gates of Hell in New York. So it's just a huge abandoned building. I don't know what it used to be, a warehouse or maybe a train station, I don't know, but you have to kind of like go through the pure water to get there, and then you go and it's just like tons and tons and tons of graffiti. And actually some of the graffiti artists also tag here in Detroit. So that was kind of a hobby of mine, just going to abandoned buildings, taking pictures. I think that that's one of the dopest places that I've taken pictures before.
That is so dope. I've always wanted to, the Belle Isle Zoo. I know
Yep.
that in the past has been, an attraction for exploring or photography. That is
Yep.
I always see these videos and photos and like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, it was tempting. I've been to Belle Isle a couple times and I'm like, come on, let's go. Like, but I think
Yeah.
that's just such a dope, like, it's photography in itself is just so creative and expressive that I feel like, that adrenaline rush of visiting new places and capturing the memories. What is one creative tool or accessory that you can't live without? Aside from like a camera.
Damn. Okay. Like one creative tool or accessory I can't live without. That is a hard one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking I don't know if you would count this as a tool or accessory. I don't know if this counts, but my calendar. I have one of those like big desk calendars. I color coordinate everything. And honestly, I do so much shit. I would be lost without my calendar.
Let
So,
me tell you.
oh, you the same way? See,
And
yeah. Okay, so you tell me.
all like,
Okay, yeah. So I got it here on my desk. I look at it every day, every night. I'm planning for the day before. I think I told you I was on a film set all day today. So like I had Alexa set a reminder for this interview. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't be able to stay on track without it. So I guess that's my tool.
Hey, I am right there with you because I have that's the main one with everything. And then like you said, there's the phone and Alexa. I have a whiteboard calendar. I have another calendar on my tech board. It's calendar on calendar on calendar. Like, because like you said, like staying busy, and I'm planning episodes for next month already. Where you know what I mean, like
exactly. But it's like when you love what you do, it seemed like so much to some people, but it gives me energy. It don't really take my energy. So yeah, I'm glad you understand.
Absolutely. And this one, would you rather shoot only in black and white forever or use only one lens for the rest of your career?
I'd have to use one lens. Black and white is just, I love it so much, but I just feel like the vibrancy of life, the vibrancy of the world, I don't know. You might as well make me blind, and I don't like the idea of that. I don't know.
Completely understand. And then lastly, if your life were a photo series, what would the title be?
Let's see. Damn, okay, yeah, you firing off some good questions. I'm trying to think.
That's a tough one because I'm also thinking about my answers, and I'm like, if the roles switched, did we ever let people interview
That's
me?
what I was just about to say. Like, what I feel like I always go when I don't know what to call something. It's untitled, number, whatever, So I normally will go with that. That's my safe spot, and then I just go into detail about what it represents. So I think I'm just gonna fall back on my safe spot and say untitled.
I am not mad at it whatsoever because I have to be honest. Yeah, that's me too. Because I'll be like project A2-3-.5 version 6.
Listen, right? We too eclectic for all of that. I don't have one name for that. I ain't gonna lie.
Untitled. I don't have a title. Awesome. I just want to say thank you so much. This has been so fun getting to just share just a part of who you are as a creative. We have your Instagram up on the screen one more time, Death to Mermaids. And like I said, like we're gonna continue to follow you, and hopefully we can have you back on to talk about some more galleries, some upcoming projects. Lastly, any last words of advice or drop? I call it Thai-spiration, and it's kind of like my take on when because for those that may not know, I talk about this all the time. I had the opportunity to be on Nick Cannon's talk show in New York, and it was my first time visiting New York. Something that I still talk about it. It was a couple years ago, but anyways, he did like this version of inspiration called Nickspiration. So hopefully it's not copyrighted. If it is, I'm pretty sure it's Thai-spiration is soon to be soon to be copyrighted.
You ain't gonna tell nobody. It's cool.
But any inspiration or just any message that you would like our audience to take away from our conversation tonight, or if they see any of your work?
I think that honestly, one thing I wind up telling my clients a lot, because like I said, I get a lot of clients who are trying to cross that bridge between leaving a 9-to-5 and becoming a full-time creative, which is a scary process. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like people get out, and once they stumble, they just feel so defeated, and it can be like a morale depleter. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if you are struggling with personal battles, like, first of all, you human, that's just gonna happen in anything that you do, you know what I'm saying? But if you're struggling with a lot of personal battles as an artist, I feel like you're right on the right track. You blending in with every other artist in the world, all of the iconics, all of the greats. If you watch a documentary, they ain't never without no like major issues, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like struggling with my own personal issues, I feel like those personal battles that you go through alone, or among friends, or just things that you feel like make you feel isolated, that ultimately needs to be a boost and something that empowers you to embrace art as just embrace art as a means of like inspiration and liberation and resilience and resistance, really.
Absolutely. Dropping gems. Arrielle, thank you so much for joining us today. And like I said, we'll be sure to connect and let our audience follow you and follow your journey. And hopefully we can have you on again soon. I hope you enjoyed your time here on our platform.
No, definitely. I wanted to say thank you so much. I know the last person thanked you, but if nobody has thanked you, I wanted to say thank you so much for just for real, for like opening up this space and allowing us to share our stories. And I've been checking you out ever since you asked me to do this interview, and I love your work, really, Ty. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, man. Literally.
Awesome. That means so much to me. I know I was like, because I'm a Cancer, and Cancers are super emotional.
I was gonna ask you for your sign when we got off of this. Okay, period. I love you. I love Cancers.
Hey, but I just want to say thank you. That really means so much to me. And like I said, I just strive to use our platform for real, authentic conversations and, being able to give people voices and share their talents and connect each other and build. I know that sounds like cliche and corny at times, but like that's who I am. So I really appreciate you for joining us. And I hope to stay in touch with you as well.
Yeah, you will. Okay, it's all love. We locked in. Let me know if you need anything.
Awesome. Thank you. And the same goes for you as well. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Happy Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes, I'm not in the sports either. So good night.
Hey, we're friends. All right. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, Arrielle.
You too.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been Ty's Take Today Live. We do it each and every Thursday and Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern. As you guys could tell, I just have so much energy, and it's like I drank 4 cups of coffee or had a nice gin martini, extra dry, extra dirty, extra olives. I'm talking, yes. But I just want to say thank you all so much again. We've been really, pushing this season and this era of Ty's Take Today Live. And we just recently hit just over 300 subscribers on YouTube. So each follow, each like, each share, each mention, each react, each post, it all means so much to me, and you guys are the reason that I do this. So like you guys said, like me having all this energy, it's because I am super passionate about sharing these stories and connecting my audience with all of these amazing guests. And I'm very expressive with my face and my hands and all of that. So I just want to say thank you guys so much. And while you're at it, be sure, if you haven't already, to go ahead and follow us. We're going to go ahead and pull up our where you guys can find us at facebook.com/@itsTysTakeToday. Of course, Instagram @itsTysTakeToday, and your take and everybody's take. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube at youtube.com/@itsTysTakeToday as well. And if you're old school, we got you. TysTakeToday.com, everything Ty's Take Today. And if you're interested in sharing your talents, or you may know somebody that is interested in being on a future episode of Tides Take Today Live, you can send us a DM on any of our social media platforms or email us at the bottom of the screen, tidestaketodaypodcast@gmail.com. We're currently booking for our March. I can't believe we're about to be into March already. So we have February pretty much under lock and booked with guests, but we are looking for guests for March and into, as we're booking all year long. So if you guys are interested, be sure to reach out to us on any of our social media platforms. One more time, I want to thank all of my guests today. We talked earlier to music artist Sevndeep. He's got new music that is forthcoming, so be sure to check him out online. Also, shout outs to Rashawn Wilder for his time today on our show. We talked everything food, desserts, and I'm gonna leave y'all because I can't stop staring at them. These just look so good to me. I can almost taste it. Nonetheless, Rayshawn is your person to go to if you're looking for maybe some desserts for loved ones, friends, family, significant others. He said that he is still taking orders. So if these photos alone don't make you want to go ahead and hit up Rayshawn on Instagram, Eyes of a Foodie, just some of his work. So didn't mean to make you all hungry, but in a sense, hit up Rayshawn for cheesecake and all the deliciousness. And then of course, my last guest, Arrielle Sade Mock, visionary, creative, photographer, all of the things. I just can't thank you all enough for our conversations today. And then of course, thank you all for watching. That's gonna do it for this edition of Tides Take Today Live. Like I said, we'll be back here on Thursday and Sunday, same time, same place, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, 6 p.m. If you just caught half of the episode or you're maybe catching the tail end, of course, you can go and watch it back on your own time, and we appreciate the love. I've done a lot of talking today, so for that, I'm out of here. But I love you guys, and thank you so much for being a part of the Taker family. We'll see you guys real soon.